Hello, everybody. Welcome to the TV1 booth here at ISC. I'm joined by two of my biggest buddies from the show. JP, welcome.
Hi, it's a
Isn't it?
pleasure to be here
Yeah,
again and talk about hybrid meeting and meeting equity.
and Joris as well. Welcome.
Hi, Mark. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so the three of us, I work for TV1, JP works for Inogeni, and Joris works for Lumens. And we've partnered together to bring together like a real best-in solution hybrid demo for you. So I'll start off with the speed dating today, so you can time me if you like. So I'll try and do less than 1 minute. So we're not going to get into the tech here. So my part of this is the CorioMaster. You can see I've got a CorioMaster Micro down here. But we go bigger and smaller, depends what you want to do. It's highly scalable solution, anything in, anything out. We can do windowing, and like these guys, we got really low latency. How about that? That was under a minute. Who wants to go next? Joris, you can be second today.
Okay, yeah, perfect. So I work for the company Lumens. We are a Taiwanese-based company. We make PTZ cameras in all sorts and forms, 4K, 1080p, all connections, IP, SDI, 12G SDI. And now our latest product is the Cam Connect. And what is the Cam Connect? It's a product that you can connect, of course, like the name says, to an array of microphones going Sennheiser, Shure, Nureva, and Yamaha. And then they will listen to the sound and they will automatically send the camera to the right person in a way of audio tracking.
And we didn't kind of work together by accident. We worked together because we're all best in class. So Inogeni and Lumens lent me equipment, and I put it through the really rigorous TV1 testing regime, and we tested everything to an inch of itself. So it was great. And just so you know what the story we're saying, this is a sort of high-level graphics in-room online B there, because I don't know if with many of you out there, I got a little bit fed up when we came out of COVID that the experience was lacking. So what we're saying is put cameras in, Lumens cameras, link it up via Inogeni gear. So we've got HDMI, put it into a video processor, and then what you have at home is like a televisual experience. And the beauty of the CorioMaster is we can put different things on different outputs. That's kind of what it's about. And there's the full hybrid demo is online, so you can see that at your own leisure. Just look at the streams. This all came about because we in TV1 we created a white paper. Once I had the confidence that they're partners that could fulfill the gap, we did this white paper, and it's been so successful that it's still running. So we've written the next one. The sequel was called Next Level Hybrid for Corporate, and it's waiting to go. And what we're going to do in this session is we're not going to get into the technical. We're going to talk about the higher level piece. And I guess, JP, can you start us off? I mean, the first thing I talked about was my experience coming out of being stuck at home and then going into this hybrid environment. And for me, it's all about how you manage meeting equity.
Yeah, meeting equity. What is the concept behind that? It's to be sure everybody will be equal and have an equitable space to communicate and be listened by the others. So everything starts with face expression. If we have a good eye contact, a good face expression, we will understand who you are, who I am, and emotion is the base communication skill to develop confidence. And if we are in a confident communication in a distance, but in a confident relationship, we will have a productive meeting. So listening, organizing, creating, if it merge creativity and dynamics, finally, we are going to have a great meeting. So this is the concept of meeting equity. To achieve that, we need technology that it's seamless. Really, you don't see it, but it's provide the right quality. So good cameras, multi cameras, switching like a snap to not cut the flow of the communication. Great TV system that it's interactive, that you can upgrade the experience. So all of these equipment create the condition to achieve meeting equity.
And talking to meeting equity, Joris, what have you, from the camera perspective, what's the best practice been to enhance that?
I think, for us in the past, you had the first thing was a PTZ camera, and it wasn't moving, or you had a remote control. And then we went into a phase of, we do framing. But then you had on Teams, you had this lovely pictures here. You see, you have one guy on Teams which is talking to you, but on the other side you see 3-4 people. So you don't have the same level of integration. You don't feel integrated into the conversation because you are part of 4 and the rest is shown live. So now what we can do together with Inogeni, you have multiple cameras, and then you can really zoom into the person who is talking to really get a level playing field between the people who are sitting in an actual room and then the people who are sitting at an home office, for example.
Yeah, and I kind of live that experience. So I work alone in Europe, and the rest of the team I work with are in the States, and it is sometimes quite hard. You have a group of people in a room, and it's not just the image; it's audio as well, isn't it? So the question people will want to ask is what UC systems we support, and the big secret is TV1 we support none. That's why we partnered with experts. So perhaps you can I'd be interested in JP first, and then Joris, and then kind of what that space looks like.
What we like to say, we are compatible by design. So we work for a long time with the engineering team for all the big players, Poly, Barco, Crestron, Logitech, QSys. We're QSys certified. So our product, we play with the HDMI camera, USB camera, and transfer it in USB, like that kind of switchers. So you can have multi-camera, 1, 2, 3, 4 cameras, and be able to switch in behind and just press the button. But the compatibility, it's solved at the source of the camera source, and after that, what is going out? It's HDMI or USB 3, USB 2 when it's needed, and the compatibility is solved with that kind of architecture because we work hard to make that happen, but it's really more simple to use.
Yeah, and just if you had to list off the UC systems you support, what can you?
Exact.
Everything, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's sure some system they need some certification. Like we are Zoom certified for 7 different products. We're Barco certified for all of our products. Question, we have some macros for specific applications. Cisco, we have application for them for BYOM also. So we work with all manufacturers to make that happen.
Yeah, and sorry, when I read your website, which I love, by the way, is the first time I see BYOM. I'd never even had that concept before, and I'm kind of now like
bring your own meeting because people, they come up in a room, they want with their laptop to take control of the cameras, microphone, and speaker in a -second. So they just need to plug their laptop and they switch all the professional peripheral to the laptop, and you can do your own meeting with a Zoom or GoToMeeting, something else that it's standard in the PC room. And when you unplug the laptop, all the equipment come back to the PC room. So this is like the Toggle or the 4KX Plus that we did for Cisco.
Yeah, and talking of websites, I love your website as well, Joris. I don't want you to feel unloved, but like one of the key things on your website are the partnerships again.
I think partnerships are the key. Also now in this day and age, technology is moving fast. It's very difficult for resellers to follow up. So we believe it's our job to integrate our systems, test our systems, and make sure that a dealer reseller doesn't come up into an installation and then find himself, oh, this doesn't work, or I need to jump to 3 hoops to make this work. So yeah,
and certainly in my opinion is as manufacturers, our customers and our end users trust us that we got relationships and technical solutions that work together. And I certainly work with the product team, and we do an awful lot of tests. We've always got kit going out to be tested. We touched on a minute ago, like the limitations of a UC system, unified communication system. I mean, for me, it's the lack of interaction. But are there other limitations that the solution we're talking about can solve, JP?
What is the limitation?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's multi-camera. Some system, they take time to recognize camera 1, camera 2, camera 3. They take 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds between changing. So the problem is it's cut the flow of the conversation because you're waiting. So is it broke? Is it connect? You don't know. Finally, you click again, but the change is not finished. So it's another 6 seconds to wait. And then you call the IT, and can someone could come. So it's why the instant, what it's intuitive is if you do something, it needs to happen now,
Hmm.
because the professor, the guests, the people they come to do a meeting, they are expert in their field. They want to have an easy way to do their presentation, but they are not AV expert, you know. So and probably it's the first time they ever touch this button there. So it needs to be simple. They click and it's work.
Yeah, and I like what we're saying about multi-cameras. That kind of where it gives us a bunch of ideas, solutions. Really, oh, we can use multiple Lumens cameras, which will make you really, really happy. Into our device, we can use multiple cameras, I guess, into Inogeni, and Lumens. I guess you can manage multi-cam as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about the meeting equity being. Why do you use multiple cameras? You could do it with one camera, but then you have a nice shot of GVP. But if I'm sitting like this and we're using that camera, I will be taking from the side. I will have to look to that camera. The TV is over there. I will be, there will be a distance, or I want to look into your eyes, but I cannot see the PowerPoint presentation. So that's why having cameras at a good angle. But the same thing with audio. If you don't have a sufficient audio and the guy in the back of the room
It's good.
is not heard as well as the guy in the front, it creates again a difference in profile of the meeting.
Yeah, and certainly for me, if you're not totally engaged, you kind of lose focus on the meeting. And of course, within remote, you could be doing anything, and you've got to keep people engaged.
It's the same thing. They did some studies for people during a meeting. We all have done it, turning off our camera.
Yeah.
But instantly everybody start thinking, what is he doing? Is he doing emails? Is he getting a coffee? Or is he just whizzed off? And so that's why, having a good, probably.
So here's my dirty secret. I had to get rid of my USB headset, and I've got a cabled one because I was doing. Well, this is boring. I used to walk, so my headset went far enough I could get downstairs from my own office, make coffee, and get back in all that range. But I wasn't watching what was going on, so not good. But let's move on to cameras. So when we unboxed the Lumens camera we've got up here, and I don't know your model numbers, but it feels like it's a product that could be for many applications. The thing in the end, I work with engineers. I'm not an engineer, put my hand up, admit to that. But they all got really excited about this camera because it's like, and they said that, wow, I thought that would have HDMI, but it's actually got an emergence of multiple connections.
Yeah, so what we try to do, it's also a little bit selfish. For stock management, we put in HDMI, SDI, USB, and IP, because what is the problem? You have stock of HDMI. What does the customer need? USB, or the other way around. So that's why we put every connection that is needed into the device, and then it's only the choice of, do you want it in white or do you want it in black? And then you go, so then you can use it for a video conferencing call or a recording session, or
But it's bring flexibility, so it's good, you know.
Yeah. But when I've seen an emergence of not in Lumens but other vendors USB only cameras, and I've admitted to you before my sins that I have one of those in the office, and it just it becomes inflexible then because I can't get it out, and then I'm relying on like your solution to be able to do that, and I guessing that comes with challenges.
Yeah, and so conversion needs to be quick and reliable. So when we are on USB 3, so we got the high speed, it's okay. But sometimes on the other side, they only take USB 2. So it's why on conversion, we put it in MGPEG, really more robust, no cut frames. It's really smooth. And it's repair itself. It's something happened in the communications. So it's really efficient system for that. And we have HDMI to USB. We have also USB to HDMI because sometimes the codec have only HDMI input for cameras, but you want the technology of USB camera with AI or whiteboard or something. So we transfer back to HD, not back, but anyway, we transfer to the historical good HDMI 4K, and it works.
And then the other question I've got in around that, and that's a question for both of you, is about latency. So with Core Master Micro,
Yeah,
it's
it needs
just
to
one or
be
two frames.
quick. Oh, yeah.
So how do you, well, first of all, how do you achieve low latency, and how do you maintain um, like the latency being the same? I guess.
You know what? It's like this one. I think it is a part of the different product that you could use. We have the sound input, the audio. We have the video loop, and we transfer HDMI to USB, and we synchronize the sound and the video to be sure we keep the transfer without any latency or so small that you don't perceive it.
Mhm.
And this is important because if it's not synchronized, the communication is cut. So it's why this is for us very important. And it's a part of the box.
It's interesting. Like, I mean, it's obviously all about image, Joris, but also if the audio isn't good and synchronous, that's a problem as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the biggest problem is also you need to check what is the receiving side, because low latency means most of the time high bandwidth. So you can say USB 3 or you can say an HDMI with a capture card, but you need then a capture card who's able to do that. So you need to embed some encoding or decryption that you do it. So basically what we try to do is on our side, we try to look at what is the receiving side, the same as Inogeni, they will look at what is the USB, but we can also timestamp the video. So that means also with Teams, when you are under 100 milliseconds of latency and you can get a Dante audio signal or get it through the Inogeni and a timestamp, Teams will synchronize it for you without any problem. So then you can find a balance between, okay, there's a difference between a 5-year-old laptop that we all get as a sales guy, it's not the most nicest model in the world, or you can get an RTX 360 graphical card PC, then we can send much more data with lower latency through.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mentioned earlier we tested all this gear and we tested it end to end, and they were the sort of thing. And we're really hot on latency because it's one of our key attributes, and the guys would come back like that was one of the things they're really impressed with. So that's why I mentioned it. Moving on, this is a really simple setup with a single camera, and it's just I was going to make it more complex, but I thought if I did that, it would confuse the message. So I kept it simple, but like I see like adding multiple sources to this setup being invaluable, and I'm thinking of things like whiteboards, a second camera, like you mentioned, Joris, about needing to see different angles, and other devices as well. So let's have a chat about that.
Yeah, it started on the university side because they in the classroom, like Xavier University in Chicago, they start with the nurse department, and after that surgery and engineering, and then now it's a standard. They have a lot of classes where student, professor, they talk together, and they have, with the last 2-3 years, people inside of the room and outside of the room. And like I established at the beginning, confidence and a good conversation start by good looking. You need to look well the other people. So managing a conversation between peoples, not cutting the flow, changing the camera, it's a key instrument for a good class. It's really important. So it's why they take a lot of our switcher and mixer, like the share to you, the cam 300, I showcase here, with multiple sources. So, and after that, it's like it's seamless. And for USB camera or high quality HDMI camera 4K, with that kind of equipment, they can really have easy to go. And now it's going really more and more on the corporate side. They feel the same. Like you explained just a few minutes ago, in a meeting of 8 people, finally, you have only the ones that are close to the camera. They can control something, but with multiple camera, it's more equitable. It's fair, but it needs to, for that kind of a corporate, you don't want to have a director that camera 1, camera 2. It needs to be automatic or something really easy to switch.
Yeah. So how do we do that? And then what are the options for a standard meeting room when we want to switch the cameras? How do we do it?
I will be honest in this conversation, as this is a conversation where I'm not here only as Lumens, so there are some options available in here. For example, you have a Crestron One Beyond system that you will install, and that will then automatically control our partner QSys.
Hmm.
They have their own solution of doing. Same thing with us, Lumens. We have a Cam Connect product.
Mhm.
But what you need for that is also you need a Sennheiser, Yamaha, and Reva. Uh, excuse me, what ceiling microphone that will give you then an angle, and then we can collect that data, and then we can send the camera PTZ. You see that all these audio manufacturers before you get an angle. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You know where you are approximately. You see all of them are getting more and more data, like the depth, the height. So that means that okay, now we're talking here. We need to use presets, but come back to the Infocom in 3 years, and we will be confident enough that we can partner our camera together with the microphone. We sync them up so that we get an XYZ position from them, and we don't need to set up a preset anymore. You can go. So that also means somebody sitting down. Okay, it's a shot. If somebody stands up, let's follow him at the whiteboard and interactive field. So also we are at the beginning of AI. When what do you do in a discussion? So I'm talking to Mr. over there, and we are ping ponging 2 times. Now it's like always a shot going left and right. Then you can maybe get instantly a picture by picture. So that means okay, we have the two. You don't have
Mhm.
the ping pong between the two of us. So
Like
that
side by side or
side
something.
by
Yeah.
side, and that's also what they're doing within Inogeni now. You can put your inputs in there and select side by side, picture by picture, picture in picture.
Where, in your space, where do you see AI going? So I find it so exciting. I'm a bit of a music fan, and I've been watching. This my age is about to appear. I've been watching. There's a guy who's doing AI music tracks by the Beatles, and it's like wow. So it's coming out like a train out of a tunnel. Where do you see it going in the AV space? AI.
I think the AI helped to have a faster applications. It's sure face recognition, auto framing, it's there, but also to enhance, like you just explained, the dynamic of a conversation, and using sounds, image to create a preset of what it's happened in the meeting room, because the people outside of the meeting room, they are remote. They
Mhm.
need to have access of this emotion inside of the room, and AI can calculate a tons, thousands, billions of information in a second, and so the engineering will work hard on that. It's
Mhm.
sure.
And then this might be a sort of left field question. The lab I work in, like we do so much whiteboarding, you wouldn't believe it. But it's like one whiteboard in a room. So have either of you got solutions for that? I mean, should we start with you, Russ? Have you got how would you manage that? Was that something Lumens would do, or
Uh, you mean by whiteboarding, writing on an interactive screen, or
yeah,
yeah?
something like yeah.
So basically, our cameras are. Well, we had the problem of that. If you have an interactive screen, something, it is an emitting source. So the problem was when our cameras 5 6 years ago. I have to tell when you were zooming up to me and then you were zooming up to the screen, the exposure would blow up. Now, thanks to KPTZ cameras, look around the show here. You find them everywhere. It's an exploding market. So you get a lot better sensors, a lot better price for your sensors. Before you could get really good images, but you had to pay 5, 6, $7,000 for a camera like that. Now you can find that technology in a camera that costs $1,300 or $1,200. So I think that's the way forward. Is you get a better dynamic range on your
Mhm.
camera. So you, if you're standing in front of the screen or not, the camera can adapt to that.
Yeah, so even this camera, I was playing with the menus in the office, and we're like jotting through. Even this camera's got a whiteboard mode.
Yeah.
It's like amazing, and it pulls out the contrast. Yeah. And what about yourself? What from the Inogeni perspective, integrating all those other collaborative devices? I mean, I'm thinking of whiteboards, visualizers, all that stuff. How can you help people do that and make it interactive?
You know what? We are an enabler. We are behind. We are in between the cameras and the system, and we try to facilitate the communication with multi-format, multi-system. So it's why working with QSys or Barco or some others, they have different technologies and applications. So we want to make that easy. They just need to connect the camera and plug that to their system, and it works. So our AI can facilitate to like pre-screen, the different camera and sources to detect and work with like Shure or some others to use their data as a component for us, and after that we can have a faster switching, because doing a switch, it takes time to the electronics to recognize who talking camera 1, 2, or 3, and it's create delay. So it's why in our box we try to solve that and always send just one video stream. So for the rest of the process, the PC room, the laptop, or the codec, it's just one camera to manage, because the stuff it's managed before it comes.
Yeah, simplifying.
Exact,
Yeah, yeah.
simplify.
We touched on control a little bit earlier. So the first thing is we're all QSys partners. So we've
Exactly. Yeah, control is important.
Yeah.
We have API, RS232, so we can control all of our equipment.
Yeah. So when I was really getting into your gear the other week, and it was like, so one of the challenges for me has always been controlling, like, for example, if I used the Lumens camera's USB, how do I get the control over? And I realized I could get to the Lumens API using your API to put in degrees and X and Y, you know.
Yeah.
So it was really seamless. So like in terms of TV1, we're the same. We have an open API. We support all the major manufacturers, but it was like a real big boost recently to get our QSys. And I was hoping I'd have a touch screen here, but didn't quite get in. And if actually it would have made the storytelling a little bit harder. Before we finish, I think it would be really useful for people to have like some signposting where to go to get more help. So I mean, Joris, what was the best place to get help if they want to find more about Lumens cameras?
The easiest way is just to go to mylumens.com. There you find all the information, and then in the right corner there's a 24-hour chat. So we have nice people in Asia, we have some European people and some American people who take a 24-hour connection. That's not only to find information, because we're not there to sell you a product, but that's also the first contact if there is anything you need. If you're in an installation and you need directly an answer, can be a small, can be big, or a telephone number from a technical guy in your region, it's to go there. And otherwise on YouTube we have a platform, again also My Lumens, and there you can find movies about how to install something, but our product connected to something else, for example. So
Sweet.
It's a bit the same. It's sure on YouTube we have also a lot of training videos for Inogeni for each product, and the website is completed. It's have a lot of information. We have a deep, in-depth knowledge base and support section for all compatibility with all the majors and companies. So if you want to see application and drawing, how it worked with Barco, ClickShare, how it works with Cisco, how it works with others, we always have drawing and support and documentations to help to really go deeper to install and make your system works. And also we have a really great support teams, really responsive, and really an instant they can answer any questions.
And I can vouch for all of that, because I've been getting lots of support as I've been like going down my journey. And TV1, it's the same. So TV1.com is the website. There's a support download. You can download software. There's numbers you can call, and then YouTube as well. So we're not quite as good as Lumens with My Lumens. We are TV1 _AV. So find that. Yeah, I know. So we got loads of videos there. This has been so much fun.
Yes.
Last
Thank
couple
you
of
very
days we've done this, and I'm just looking forward to how we can take this forward in future. I mean, if you do like this, make sure you like this video, subscribe it as well. Add comments if you've got ideas of things you'd like us to do. We've been talking, the three of us. We're going to develop this idea a little bit further, and in the coming months we're going to do another session like this, another Connect Talk sessions, and we're probably going to involve some other people to develop this idea further. So I think we got some impetus here, and we need to, we're like disrupting the industry. We need to keep doing it. Yeah. So thanks for your time.
Thank you very much. For the pleasure again.
Yeah, you've been stars. Thank you
all.
And thanks at
Thank
home.
you.
Have a really good rest of the day. Make sure you catch the other videos in this series, and we'll see you later. Thanks for your time. Bye-bye.